Have you ever walked into a room and instantly sensed the mood? What you were picking up on wasn't spoken aloud, but rather conveyed through a universal language we all speak: body language. Our bodies are constantly sending and receiving signals, a subtle dance of postures, gestures, and expressions that color our interactions. By learning to read and interpret body language, we gain valuable insights into ourselves and others, fostering greater empathy, understanding, and more authentic interactions. Imagine meeting someone for the first time. Before a single word is exchanged, their body language has already begun to paint a picture in your mind. A confident stance and a warm smile can immediately put you at ease, while a slouched posture and a lack of eye contact might signal disinterest or even distrust. This is the power of nonverbal communication. It shapes first impressions, influences perceptions, and can even sway decisions. Mastering this silent language is essential for success in all areas of life. Think of body language as a symphony, a complex interplay of instruments, each contributing to the overall melody. Our hands gesture and emphasize, while our facial expressions add depth and nuance to our message. By learning to read the subtle signals our bodies send and receive, we gain a powerful tool for navigating the complexities of human interaction. Imagine you're about to deliver a presentation. Your heart might be racing, palms sweating, and a wave of self-doubt threatening to engulf you. But what if you could strike a pose, a simple shift in your posture, that could instantly boost your confidence and calm your nerves? This is the power of the power pose. When we adopt a power pose, our brains release hormones like testosterone, associated with dominance and confidence, and decrease the production of cortisol, the stress hormone. Now that we understand the transformative potential of power poses, let's explore some practical ways to incorporate them into our daily lives. Start by becoming aware of your default posture. Do you tend to slouch, shoulders rounded forward, or do you stand tall, chest open, projecting an air of confidence? Begin by simply straightening your spine, imagining a string pulling you up from the crown of your head. Roll your shoulders back and down. Remember, even subtle adjustments to your posture can make a world of difference in how you feel and how you are perceived by others. The fascinating thing about posture is that it's not just about outward appearances. It has a profound impact on our internal state as well. When we adopt confident postures, we don't just look more confident, we actually feel more confident. By consciously adopting postures that convey confidence and strength, we can influence how others perceive us and shift our own internal state. They say the eyes are the windows of the soul, and when it comes to body language, nothing could be truer. Eye contact is the glue that holds conversations together, the invisible thread that weaves connection and builds rapport. It's a powerful tool for establishing trust, conveying empathy, and signaling our interest in the other person, whether it was a shared look of understanding or simply the feeling of being truly seen and heard. Eye contact has the power to elevate our interactions from mundane to memorable. Just like any language, eye contact has its own nuances and subtleties. Direct eye contact, held for an appropriate amount of time, generally signals confidence, interest, and attentiveness. Avoiding eye contact altogether can be interpreted as a sign of nervousness, disinterest, or even deception. While the nuances of eye contact can seem complex, there are some simple guidelines you can follow to enhance your own nonverbal communication skills and build stronger connections with others. Strive for a balance between direct eye contact and brief breaks. A good rule of thumb is to maintain eye contact for about 50 to 60% of the time while speaking and 70 to 80% of the time while listening. Focus on making soft eye contact by looking at the other person's entire face rather than fixating on their eyes. Our hands, those nimble extensions of ourselves, are capable of a remarkable range of expression. From a gentle touch that conveys empathy to a clenched fist that signals anger, our hands speak volumes, adding layers of meaning to our spoken words. Learning to read the language of hand gestures is like unlocking a secret code, giving you access to a wealth of nonverbal information. Let's delve into the fascinating world of hand gestures, exploring some common examples and deciphering their hidden meanings. One of the most telling gestures is the open palm, often associated with honesty, openness, and trustworthiness. Conversely, hiding one's palms can signal discomfort, secrecy, or even deception. Our faces, those intricate canvases of emotion, are perhaps the most expressive part of our bodies, from the subtle crinkle around the eyes that betrays genuine happiness to the furrowed brow that signals concern. Our facial expressions provide a constant stream of nonverbal cues. Learning to read these subtle cues is like having access to a secret language, allowing you to understand the unspoken emotions of those around you. While most of us are adept at recognizing and interpreting common facial expressions, there's a whole other level of nonverbal communication that often goes unnoticed: microexpressions. These fleeting expressions, lasting for a fraction of a second, are involuntary and often betray our true feelings even when we try to mask them. Microexpressions are difficult to control because they're driven by the limbic system, the part of our brain responsible for emotions. Have you ever noticed how, in a conversation with a close friend, you might unconsciously adopt similar postures, gestures, or even speech patterns? This fascinating phenomenon, known as mirroring, is a powerful tool for building rapport and fostering connection. Mirroring involves subtly imitating the other person's body language, creating a sense of harmony and synchronicity in the interaction. When we mirror someone's body language, we're essentially sending a signal to their brain that we're like them, that we understand them, and that we're on the same team. Building bridges of rapport. How mirroring fosters connection. The beauty of mirroring lies in its subtlety. It creates a sense of familiarity and belonging. Mirroring taps into a primal part of our brain. This sense of connection can be incredibly powerful. Mirroring in action: practical tips for subtle imitation. Now that we understand the power of mirroring, let's explore some practical ways to incorporate this technique into our own interactions. Remember, the key is subtlety. Your goal isn't to become a mirror image of the other person, but rather to subtly reflect back their overall demeanor and energy. One simple technique is to pay attention to their posture. Are they sitting up straight or leaning back? Are their arms crossed or relaxed? Once you've observed their posture, subtly adjust your own to match, creating a sense of physical synchronicity. Avoid making any sudden or exaggerated movements. The key is to mirror their posture gradually and naturally. Another effective technique is to mirror their hand gestures. If they tend to gesture with their hands while they speak, try incorporating some similar gestures into your own communication style. Again, the key is subtlety. You don't want to copy their every move, but rather to create a sense of shared rhythm and movement. Beyond imitation, mirroring is more than just a clever trick for building rapport. It's a powerful tool for enhancing empathy and deepening our understanding of others. When we consciously mirror someone's body language, we're essentially stepping into their shoes, experiencing the world from their perspective, even if just for a moment. This physical embodiment of their nonverbal cues can help us to better understand their emotional state, their underlying motivations, and the unspoken messages they're trying to convey. It's like tuning into a different radio frequency, one that allows us to pick up on the subtle nuances of their communication that we might otherwise miss. This deeper level of understanding can be invaluable in all our relationships, from personal to professional. It allows us to communicate more effectively, resolve conflicts more constructively, and build stronger, more meaningful connections with the people around us. So, the next time you find yourself wanting to connect with someone on a deeper level, pay attention to their body language and see if you can subtly mirror their movements. You might be surprised at the difference it makes. The bubble we carry understanding personal space. Have you ever felt uncomfortable when someone stood a little too close, their presence invading your personal bubble? We all have an invisible boundary around us, a zone of personal space that we instinctively protect. This invisible bubble, while unseen, is a powerful force in our interactions, influencing our comfort levels and shaping our perceptions of others. Think of personal space as a portable comfort zone, a buffer zone that we carry with us wherever we go. The size of this bubble varies depending on cultural norms, individual preferences, and the nature of the relationship. In general, we tend to allow closer proximity with those we know and trust while maintaining a greater distance from strangers or those we perceive as threatening. Understanding the concept of personal space is crucial for navigating social interactions with sensitivity and respect. When we violate someone's personal space, intentionally or unintentionally, it can trigger feelings of discomfort, anxiety, or even aggression. On the other hand, respecting those invisible boundaries conveys respect, consideration, and an understanding of social etiquette. Close encounters, navigating different comfort zones. Imagine this: you're having a conversation with a colleague at a networking event. They lean in close, their breath warm on your cheek. You instinctively take a step back. This dance of proximity and distance is a constant negotiation. Cultural norms shape our perceptions of personal space. In some cultures, close contact is a sign of warmth. In others, it's intrusive. Mediterranean and Latin American cultures have smaller personal space bubbles. Be mindful of cultural differences, especially in diverse interactions. Respecting boundaries, the art of reading nonverbal cues. While we may not always be consciously aware of it, our bodies are constantly sending and receiving nonverbal signals about our personal space preferences. Learning to read these subtle cues is essential for navigating social interactions with grace and sensitivity. For example, someone who feels their personal space is being invaded might lean away, cross their arms, or avert their gaze. They might also fidget, shift their weight, or create physical barriers with objects such as purses or bags. On the other hand, someone who feels comfortable with the level of proximity might maintain an open posture, make direct eye contact, and smile or nod to show engagement. Paying attention to these nonverbal cues can help you avoid inadvertently making someone feel uncomfortable. If you notice someone backing away or displaying other signs of discomfort, respect their boundaries by giving them more space. Remember, it's always better to err on the side of caution and allow for a bit more distance than to risk making someone feel trapped or uncomfortable. From crowds to intimacy. Adapting your space in different contexts. Our personal space needs can vary depending on the situation we're in. For example, we might tolerate closer proximity in a crowded elevator or concert than we would in a quiet library or during a one-on-one conversation. Similarly, our comfort levels with physical touch can change depending on the context and the relationship. A hug from a close friend might be welcomed, while an unexpected touch from a stranger could feel intrusive or even threatening. Being mindful of these contextual factors can help you adjust your behavior accordingly and avoid sending mixed signals. For instance, if you're in a crowded space, try to maintain a neutral body posture and avoid making unnecessary physical contact. On the other hand, if you're with close friends or family, feel free to express your affection more openly. The transformative power of body language. Body language is more than random gestures and expressions. It's a powerful language that shapes our interactions and reveals our true thoughts. Our bodies constantly send and receive messages, adding meaning to our words. Mastering this silent language involves self-awareness and practice. It's about understanding cultural contexts and adapting our behavior. By attuning to body language, we navigate interactions with confidence and empathy. Unlock your non-verbal potential. Mastering body language isn't about rigid rules, it's about understanding yourself and others. Align your non-verbal cues with your words to build trust and strengthen relationships. Embrace the learning process and experiment with your body language. Develop awareness of the messages you're sending and receiving. Unlock your non-verbal potential and transform your relationship.